Good day and welcome to Escape the Big Tech Prison Challenge. I'm the virtual webmaster and I'm going to be your driving instructor. Now this is step 1, the escape plan. But before we get into any of the lesson, we're going to give you a quick tour of this, the step 1 homepage. Now of course it will look different on a mobile device, but you should find much the same stuff. Now at the very top we've got a message at the moment which says preview, beta testing launching soon. By the time you're viewing this it shall say beta testing live, and this will be a link for some resources for beta testers. Okay, over here on the left we have a menu which will be much the same on mobile. It's organized into the steps, and then each step will have its own homepage. You're on the step 1 homepage at the moment. And then there will be lesson groups and individual modules within each lesson. So that's within each lesson group. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lesson groups here in step 1. And then you'll see there's something called a playtime area, and there are all the parts to that. And then there's of course the rest of the steps. So that is the quick navigation. Over on the right there is another form of navigation. This is our Digital Freedom Launchpad, the little guy getting ready to launch himself. So that's always quick navigation. That shall appear wherever you are. Now coming back down here, we've got all the lessons laid out in the groups as I just showed you, and here they are. And then there's that playtime that I mentioned. And thing to mention about this is always going to be on the bottom of each of the steps and look much the same. The contents of course will be different, but each will have all of these 9 areas within the playtime group. Okay, so let's scroll back up to the top and let's come down here. We're into the first of our lesson groups. This one's the introduction. First driving lesson, take control of the wheel of your digital life. 10 steps to escape and drive to digital freedom. Now, I am your driving instructor, and the Information Superhighway is taking you to a digital prison, but you can exit to digital freedom. And that is the theme of this first lesson. Okay, scrolling down. Now this explains a little bit about myself. This very first module is just about myself, because you want to know who's in front of you, giving you information about digital privacy and digital freedom. Well, this is my experience, some 20 years in corporate IT and some 26 years as a consultant entrepreneur specializing in online marketing, search engine optimization, webmaster services, and all of that together at the moment is 46 years. And cybersecurity and of course privacy has always been a major part of everything I've done. So that's enough about me for the moment. I just want to talk now about my experience and what brought me to produce this training. The Information Superhighway. The internet was once touted as the great information superhighway. That's back in the 80s and 90s. It was to be a free and open source network that promised to bring the world closer together. It was meant to be a shared resource for everyone, fostering the free flow of information and the exchange of ideas and collaborative solutions to world challenges. No single entity was ever meant to control the information superhighway or restrict access to it. How do I know this? Because I was there in the early days. Now this is a little bit about my experience as I watched big tech evolve. So I actually watched the entire internet evolve, because I can claim that I was online before the internet was even available. And this is actually a picture of my first modem, not my actual modem, but an identical modem. What is a modem? It's a device that hooks up an old-fashioned landline telephone to the network, so I can connect to another computer that also has one of these. And this is the way we used to connect online before the internet. And I actually had one of these online message boards, and I'll tell you more about those at some other stage. But one thing I will say about it is it just shows you that this evolved organically. This was an enthusiast thing. Techies created these message boards and this technology and these modems and this whole system, and then the internet has come in, and now it's big tech. But we're very creative without big tech. Now, I can claim also that I had a computer at home years before IBM even created their personal computer. Now, this is another picture that's of an identical computer configuration to what I had. Now, here's a little interesting thing about this computer. No matter what gadget you have in front of you, it's far more powerful than all of this put together. Now, we all know about how much RAM or how much memory your device has, and 4 megs we all know is pretty tiny these days, and 4 gigs is very common, and a lot of people have a lot more than that. This whole computer system had a memory of 4K. That's 4,000 bytes of computer memory. And to give you some idea of how small that was, if you have a look at this little man in the corner here, this little icon of the guy running, that's a 4K icon. So that's how much memory was required to draw this little image. So these weren't actually graphics. That was just a trick with something called ASCII characters, but I'm getting very technical. But it didn't have any graphic capabilities. This is all text-based computing. So that's what I had way back in 1979. Now, finally, I was around before big tech existed, and the first 3 didn't exist at all. Microsoft was started in 1975 and Apple a year later, but they were both still relatively small. And this is me in the very early 80s. I was working as a tape librarian, trained, became a computer operator, went to night school, became a computer programmer, and then got into networking and MCSEs and all sorts of other stuff. So I watched it all evolve. Now, as for gadgets, this is all I had when I was a kid because I'm ancient. And this is a record player. For anyone who doesn't recognize it, you used to put plastic discs on to play music. Mine wasn't. I can't remember what mine looked like exactly, but something like that. So I grew up in a world without computers. We only had TV. But I remember as a child watching lots of science fiction movies and cartoons, like this one below, which portrays a futuristic world of flying cars, robots, artificial intelligence, video calls, smart homes, and this one I love, the instant food machines. We're the only one, well, I guess we could say we've got that. Not if you want to eat anything from one. And the thing is, all of this inspired me to dream of an exciting future where technology would one day solve many of the world's problems and improve our lives. And this is where I'm going with this. We're at the big tech takeover. And this is where my childhood dream is fast becoming a nightmare. Big tech is transforming the information superhighway into a digital toll road where every click comes at a cost. They created road rules designed not to protect us, but to control us. Appointing themselves as the highway patrol, to police your digital activities. They're blocking the exits, installing surveillance systems to track where you go and everything you do. The Information Superhighway is now taking us directly to a digital prison where you'll become their digital slave. Now, over the past decade, I became increasingly alarmed by the takeover of IT and the internet by big tech. And I've watched as big tech has crept into almost every aspect of our digital lives. Instead of solving problems and improving our lives, big tech has made the internet a divisive place, full of echo chambers created by addictive algorithms designed to maximize engagement. Increasingly, there is only one official narrative, and any other view is labelled as misinformation, aka wrongthink. And that actually completes this first module. Now, this first lesson is going to be a little bit longer because we've given you the tour of the homepage, and I'm also going to give you a tour of the beta testing form and area. So we just click down this button. It'll be something similar on mobile. First thing to draw to your attention is the beta testing home links and resources. There's going to be more on there. I'll take you there and show you that in a minute. This is a form. All fields are optional. This is the sort of information we want. Just whatever you want to provide. It can be anonymous. You can fill out as much or as little as you want. If you do want to contact us, if you want to give it a reference or a handle, you might want to provide some feedback but not want us to contact you or provide contact details. Just give us a handle to identify it. Leave a message or provide contact details. Totally up to you. Now here's the trick. To make this form work, you've got to do something. You've got to actually type something across here. You've got to type the name of the challenge. Remember, the name of the challenge is, I want to show you, Escape the Big Tech Prison Challenge. Oh, I better spell it correctly. So that's it. Escape the Big Tech Prison. As soon as you type that in, you can either push enter or go down here and click the button for enter. We're not going to submit that at this stage. We're just going to click here. It does open into a new window or new tab. And this is still under development. This is just going to be a little area. It reminds you what we want from you. There's going to be something interesting called the Trailblazer track notes. That's our way to communicate with you. We've got all our resources here, and we're going to provide updates of what's happening and where we're up to with the development. Okay, back over here, we can now hit the next button, or we can hit the home button to go back to the step 1 homepage. Okay, that includes that module, and you can please provide feedback and hit the next when you're ready. Thank you.